Good afternoon, Iowa fans. My name is Corey Bratta here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. You're watching Iowa Postgame with Kasheen Alexander. Kasheen, former Hawkeye women's basketball great, is set to join us in just a few minutes as we recap this large loss out in Westwood, 88-65 against the Bruins of UCLA, the second-ranked team in the country. Lauren Betts and company getting a 23-point win over Jan Jensen's squad. A couple of ways to interact with the show. If you're new here, thank you for being here, first and foremost. You can call the show. There's a couple of options as far as getting involved here. One, by means of StreamYard. We've already got some people lined up in StreamYard. You can also call on our 515 number. The number is 515-635-1601. 515-635-1601. Now, StreamYard's pretty simple. You just click the link in our description. We also pinned it in the live chat. And you sign in, either Google, Facebook, all that information stays with you in StreamYard. No one else sees it. But you can call in either by video, by audio only, whatever you prefer. A couple of ways to get in touch with myself and, of course, the person who makes this happen, Hawkeye great, Kasheen Alexander. Also, we've got the live chat. If you want your comment prioritized, make it a super chat. I think you can do that for like as little as $1 or $2, somewhere in there. All donations are, of course, appreciated. And then that comment gets starred, and we're able to filter through it quickly. So please consider doing that. And if you're also interested in joining our Discord, always plugging that. We keep getting new members every day. It's always a fun time. Constant chatter during the games. It's basically like a big message board or big group chat, if you will. But we have channels of throughout that Discord: Iowa women's basketball, Iowa men's basketball. We're going to be adding football here as we get closer to spring ball. So again, if you're interested in joining the Discord, we'll keep plugging that. It's $5 a month, $50 for a year. Links to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo are all listed in our description. Just label your donation Discord, and we'll get you a link to join the channel. All right. We've got, like I said, several people who have already lined up to chat. I know most people usually want to talk to Kasheen, which is great because I'd prefer let the expert answer the question. So before we get to our callers, we're going to wait for Kasheen to hop on with us here in a minute or two. But I do want to take a moment to review this thing, review this 23-point loss. I know it was nationally televised on Fox, but here's a final look at the stat sheet. And I'll try to blow this up so we can get a little bit better view of this. Here we go. So here's the final. Again, 88-65. And we'll look at the split box first, and then we'll come back up and look at Iowa's individual numbers. So you see a plus 15% difference as far as field goal shooting between Iowa and UCLA. Hard to shoot on the road. We always hear that. Iowa was 23 of 53 overall and just 5 of 21 from 3. They were fine at the free throw line, 14 and 19, good for 74%. That's really a win, even though UCLA was perfect at the line. Iowa got there a lot more than the Bruins did, outpacing the Bruins at the line 19-8 as it relates to attempts. Iowa turned the ball over too much. That seems to be a running deal with this team, although, again, didn't lose that category by all that much. They were just -4 in that category. 19 turnovers for the Hawks, 15 for UCLA. And it seems like Iowa struggles turning the ball over really early in games, right? We said that in the UCLA game. They had like 3 in the first 2 minutes. Today they had 5 really early and ended up with 19 on the game. So they tend to clean things up a little bit as the game goes on, but it doesn't set a good precedent moving forward. I thought Iowa really competed on the glass today. This is a UCLA team that hurts you with their size, hurts you with their physicality. They're just stronger. And that's one question I do want to ask Kasheen, and I have it written down actually, is how much of an issue is strength and conditioning as far as competing at the level that they aspire to compete at? Basically what we saw tonight, UCLA at home. That's the level that everybody is trying to achieve. How much of that is strength and conditioning? I'll be interested to hear that from Kasheen. Obviously, better athletes, those things go hand in hand. But I did think Iowa really competed on the glass. They were just -8 in that category against the Bruins. Point paint's obviously big difference here. And, this is a battle you're probably never going to have a chance of winning, especially with Lauren Betts. And then you got her sister, her freshman sister, who's going to be really good as well. And they're just good everywhere. But they were -30 in the paint. That will not get it done. If you had to, and I don't know how much Jan kind of combs through and makes goals as it relates to individual stats, or team stats, I should say. But if you were to tell me heading into this game that Iowa would be -30 in the paint, of course, I'd say they had no chance of winning. But if you told me, hey, they were -10, -15, and hey, they made 10 threes, then hey, yeah, maybe they knocked off the Bruins. Not the case. Just 5 threes for the Hawks and 26 points in the paint. We're going to look at the individual stats and as to why I just think, these last 2 games are a model of inconsistency all around for this offense. And we'll talk about it, how to fix it. I'm sure Kasheen's got some ideas, some thoughts after seeing this one. Iowa really didn't get in transition. When they did, they were really good, but just 5 fast break points on the day. And obviously you got to get stops. So, you give up 58% shooting. I didn't think Iowa's defense was all that bad in the first half. I actually thought it was really good. I thought they competed well. Second half, I don't quite understand the defensive approach to bigs, to dominant bigs. Like, I didn't understand how Iowa approached the matchup against Audie Crooks earlier in the year, and I didn't quite understand the approach to Lauren Betts today. Let's look at Iowa's stats first. So Ava Hayden really struggled in that first half. What'd she have? I can pull it up here. First half stats for Iowa. Let's see here. I think I can pull this up on the stat broadcast. We may have to wait. No, here it is. First half box score for Iowa. Ava Hayden 0 for 3 with 0 points. Yeah, so it was all chit-chat, right, and Hannah Stuelke offensively. Stremlo adds 6. Houston adds a 3, and that was it for Iowa's offense. No points scored in the first half by Hayden, Deal, Feuerbach, Hayes, or Mullaney, who did play. So not enough offense. 28 points scored in the first half for Iowa. We'll go back here to the final game totals. Obviously, there's some glaring goose eggs on this list that need to be addressed. Kylie Feuerbach, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. No assists, 1 rebound, 0 points. Yes, I know she's their best defender, but you got to hope for more than that, all right, on the offensive end from your senior guard. You just have to, especially on the road, especially when you're down your other senior guard, who is a three-point shooter in Taylor McCabe. Speaking of Taylor McCabe and three-point shooting, her replacement today, Addie Deal, finally got on the board. She was 0 for 3 from the field against USC on, Thursday? And tonight, she was 1 of 7. 1 of 7 from the field for the true freshman. Made a late 3, but made a free throw and a 2. 0 for 4 from 3. Had 1 assist. And I don't see turnovers on this list. Again, this is not the official final box score. This is what I have so far from Stat Broadcast. So we'll try to get the final box score from the NCAA here in just a little bit. You see also Layla Hayes with a goose egg. Tegan Mulaney had 1 point. Journey Houston had a nice day. Actually, I thought played well again. She had a nice trip out to California, just holistically. 7 points tonight for Journey. And then really Iowa's offense was led by Ava Hayden in the second half, who had all 19 of her points in the second. She was dominant. Problem is they were just going back and forth, her and Lauren Betts. She ended up with 19 on 7 of 12 shooting, 5 of 5 at the free throw line. You'll take that. Would like more than 3 boards. Kind of like what I said with Hannah Stolke their night. She had like 1. She had 8 tonight. Hannah Stolke, I thought, had a lot better. I thought a lot more giddy up in her step, so to speak, a lot more energy. I liked what I saw tonight from Hannah. Almost wish she'd have been more aggressive on the offensive end, but it's hard to really ask for that when we've also, Kasheen's done it, I've done it. We've pined for her to be her, and I don't know that being her is being aggressive with the ball in her hands. That's not necessarily what she is, right? If you can get in the fast break with Hannah, great. She's going to, if you can get, this number right here, 8 boards, you'll take that any day of the week. Also had 4 assists, 13 points on 5 of 6 shooting for Hannah. Would like the 3 for 6 from the free throw line number to be better. If she makes even 2 of those, you have a 15, 8, and 4 day. You'll take that on the road against a really good UCLA team. Taylor Strimlow, a player off the bench tonight, 12 points, 5 of 9, along with 4 assists. And no, I don't believe there's some controversy about whether Strimlow or Deal should be starting. And the reason I say that is not because I believe the Deal is deserving of starting or not deserving of starting, but the fact that Jan decided to start Addie Deal when Taylor McCabe went down, she made that decision. And barring something really drastic, I don't think it's healthy to change at this point. Okay. Now you're going to see a minutes differential. Again, this is not the final box score, but we'll get total minutes for each of these players in a little bit as well. Strimlow is going to eat into Deal's minutes, as she should. My opinion, I know hindsight's 20/20, but my opinion is with McCabe out, Strimlow is deserving of the start over Addie Deal. Just 100%. And you may disagree with that. I know Deal had a couple of games where she went off. She had like an 18-point game, a 20-point game. But let's be honest, the more sure, polished guard right now, and the player who gave them more both of these last 2 games in California is Taylor Strimlow. So, but I don't believe you go back. We'll see if Kasheen agrees with me here in just a second. All right, speaking of Kasheen, we'll come back to our box score here in just a moment. Let's add in the former Hawkeye guard from snowy Charlotte, North Carolina. Kasheen, did you get your shoveling business all handled? All your clients are cared for this afternoon? You got them all plowed and shoveled and de-iced and all that good stuff? I can't hear you. You're not muted, but I can't hear you. Here we go again. I love when this happens. You can hear me. I can't hear you. So we'll get Kasheen back in just a second. We appreciate that. Maybe her line is frozen. They got, I think, 13 inches of snow, according to what she said in our Discord here earlier today. So didn't know that was possible in Charlotte, North Carolina, but apparently it is. All right. Just seeing as here we wait for Kasheen to get back on here. Let me just see if there's anything in the chat. First of all, quick shout out to all of our premium members. I see Bob in here. David Morris is in here as well. They're premium members. sure there's quite a few people who are on our Discord that are in the live chat. Mitchell's one of our premium YouTube members. Thank you, Mitchell, for being here. And I see a lot of talk about the turnovers. I see a question here from Mike Weissman. We'll get back to him once Kasheen gets on here as well. I don't think today's result is any reason to panic. First of all, yes, they lose by 23. Let's give Iowa credit for hanging in there for a lot of the game. And again, I thought this thing went haywire in the second half defensively. Just not able to get stops. Again, I don't like the game plan against a really dominant big in Lauren Betts, similar to what they did against Audie Crooks. So again, that's my big thing right now. I don't think it's time to panic. I think at best Iowa was going to go 1-1 on this road trip. They go 0-2. Now you just got to go back home and take care of business. And they have winnable games coming up. Minnesota, Washington, both at home. They should win both of those games. All right. At Purdue, that should be a win. They have some difficult games. Illinois at home is going to be tough. Michigan at home is going to be tough. At Nebraska is going to be tough. At Wisconsin is going to be tough. But they do have their next two should be wins, and they're both at home. So yeah, there's reasons for optimism here. Let's get Kasheen in here. Kasheen, we got your audio now.
I hope so.
All right, cool, awesome. Thank you for being here. What's the front yard look like this afternoon?
Clear. I'm exhausted. I will say that.
Did you really shovel your own snow?
I did.
What are children for? I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I can't even make a joke like this because somebody will jump down my throat and accuse me of being a child.
Well, first of all,
laborer.
One's of age. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, she's not. Totally.
Okay. Absolutely.
I'm not encouraging Juliana to go out and try to shovel your driveway. Did she have any fun in the snow? Did she make a fort? Did she make
fun? She had tons.
Good. Does she know snow? Has she been
able? No, this is her first snow.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yep. So she had a blast. She was literally doing Snow Angel backwards.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Well, so she was very covered in snow by the time she was ready to come in.
Well, I wish I could say that Iowa fans are as happy as your daughter was with the snow today.
Yeah.
No snow in Iowa, but boy, it was a tough one out west at Westwood. Hawkeyes falling to UCLA by 23. And, I don't know that that's a surprise to anybody. I think people in general are probably hoping for a closer final, just given the fact that these are two top 10 teams. Now, Iowa will not be in the top 10 come Monday. I would be very surprised. I know that TCU lost again, but again, would have to comb through the numbers. They won't be top 10 Monday. I guess, what are your initial takeaways, Kasheen, before we get to a couple of our callers?
I think I'm with you. I'm not surprised, right? I did not think we were going to win that game anyways. I think the first quarter we were playing well outside of the turnovers, of course. And then it kind of caught up to us a little bit in the second. And then the rest of it's kind of history. I still do not like our offense. I just don't. I don't think that it looks like they don't even know what they're doing at times. And it's kind of like a last second situation where sometimes I feel like there's a reason that they're moving, right? Like there's a reason so-and-so is cutting. There's a reason why this pass is made. And at other times I'm like, what are we doing? Like what's the next option? Who's the next person? What are we doing? I think I heard you earlier. Taylor Tremolo should be starting. She should have been started, but that's nor here nor there.
You can't. You heard my point, though. You can't change now.
Yes, you can.
Yes. Okay. Do you think it's healthy to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Addie Deal has only started twice. She's a freshman.
No, but that's the problem.
She doesn't get that. This isn't a Kylie Feuerbach where we were talking last year when we were like, you can't change it. This isn't Gabby Marshall when she was going through her thing and we were like, you can't. This is a freshman. She doesn't even have any cohesiveness with the team.
But isn't that an embarrassment? Yes. Isn't that in a sense an embarrassment though to her? Like, could that be a risk of humiliation to start her for 2 games? She goes 0 for 0 for 3 and then 1 for 7 and you yank the plug on her. Like, don't you almost owe it?
Care less.
Don't you almost owe it to the player that you endorsed? Nope. You endorsed her. You endorsed her.
Did.
No, I'm not saying
that's what they get.
Jan
no,
did.
I know. That's what they get. But at the same point in time, no. Because whenever a player goes down, this is a trial and error. This is a next man up scenario. And again, I do not agree with how Iowa handled that whole situation. I don't. I think it was entirely too much pressure on her, from the social media post to the whole thing. I think it was crazy. Now, what I will say is maybe that woke Taylor Strimlo up. I will say that. Maybe that was it. Taylor Strimlo was like, oh, you going to put a freshman over me? Oh, okay. And maybe that woke her up. I don't know. But for me, it's not enough for me to say, oh, well, what if she doesn't come back from it? She just played horribly 2 games. Who do I care? Like, at this point, you're going to have to do something one way or the other. She's going to play one way or the other. And maybe it's the way you break it to her that matters the most. She is better coming off the bench when she can see the pace. She can see everything. There's a big difference between starting and coming off the bench. Some people just ain't good at it. That's a fact. Maybe she hasn't gotten to that point yet because that she didn't even look the same.
I think Taylor Strimlo looked better when she was starting. So I guess what I'd say is this. And this is going to say, again, 23-point loss. Don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we have 2 games now to sample. In my opinion, the mistake was made. And yes, it's hindsight. But at the same time, I felt this when it happened. We'd have to go back and listen to what I said when I don't remember what I said when McCabe went down as far as who I would start. But I think the mistake was made at that point starting Addie. And maybe there was a real big deliberation on that. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe there wasn't.
They made an announcement like the next day.
Well, so I think that's where the mistake was made. She should have never been the starter in the first place.
No, she should not have.
Because now I think you're in whether you agree with it or not, I think you're in an awkward position. You've done it to yourself, but you're in an awkward position because I don't know that you want to do that to a freshman's psyche. Pull the plug after 2 games. She's playing really well. Now she's not playing well. You're going to pull the plug on her. I just don't think Jan's going to do that. And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Do I think Jan's going to do it? No. Should she? Yes. You can't compound mistakes. You made a mistake, fix it. It's very simple. It's not that difficult. She's a freshman. Let's see what she's made out of in a different way. It's just how you phrase it. Doesn't need to be a whole thing in regards to, oh, she's not starting. She is a freshman. She has not put in any kind of work to say, oh, well, I don't want to rattle her. I don't give a damn if we rattle her or not. She's a freshman. Come off the bench, do something. Next man up. Like, because at the end of the day, like I said, she's going to play regardless. But in my opinion, she plays better off the bench. That's just what it is. I didn't think she would be a good starter. And I also said that we should not have started her before we even went to the West Coast. It was too much. But at the end of the day, Taylor Strimlo has proven that she should be starting. She started earlier in the season. This isn't like a new starter. She started earlier in the season. So that's another thing. I still don't get that. She started earlier in the season, and then you put in, anyways, I'm not even.
I know, and she played well when she started earlier in the season. Now, and I'm sure the viewpoint of this is, at the time, she was their only option really to run the point. This is not the point. This is technically the off guard spot. So maybe Jan would argue we felt more.
Which is what she's supposed to be doing anyways. But Addie Deal's not an off guard.
Well, yeah, I don't. Are either one of them off guards? I mean, I know you say that's what she's supposed to be doing. I thought Strimlo was better as a point. I mean, I thought she was better when she was playing the point earlier.
She's playing better now, and she's not playing the point guard position.
But but I'm saying she played her best basketball when she was the starting point.
Sure. Then she lost whatever she lost, and now she's coming back, and she's not playing the point right now. These last 2 games.
Yeah.
So I mean, in my opinion, like I said, in my opinion, Jan is. We'll see. We'll see if she has some gusto to her or not.
All right, we got let's see. First up, we got Kayla in our queue. We're gonna give a quick plug to our sponsor, Big Grove Brewery, the official craft brewery of the Hawkeyes. Visit their locations across the state of Iowa and brand new location in Omaha. Visit biggrove.com and check out their menu and their wide selection of IPAs. Biggrove.com, Big Grove Brewery, the official craft brewery of the Hawkeyes, and Big Grove's big play of the day. Chit Chat Right, man, she just makes flashy plays. How about she was steady Eddie? If I had to name a player of the game by half, player of the half, it would have been Chit Chat in the first half. It would have been Ava in the second. Unfortunately, we don't really do that. So ended up giving it to Ava, but Chit Chat was just really good, I thought, throughout. Numbers-wise, let me look at her final stats. She was 3 of 8, 2 of 6 from 3.
Struggled a little bit to shoot it today, but... Yeah,
a little bit, but seven assists, still gave him 10 points. She's just fun to watch. I mean, I just really appreciate her for everything she is. And they would be, I know that Taylor Strimlow filled in admirably. I was just touting that a minute ago, but now with McCabe out and the lack of depth, they would be a disaster if she went down. I mean, they really, if her or Ava went down, this team would spiral. I believe that. But again, huge play. It was a bad outlet pass down the court late in the fourth quarter. Chit Chat Right does everything she can just to get to the ball. Tap passes it to Stolke, who then quick hot potato pass to Ava Hayden for the layup. Unfortunately, at the time, they were down 19, so that cut it to 17, 5.5 minutes to go. By the way, they lost this game. Yes, they dug themselves a hole, but they had cut it to 13.
They did.
And in the fourth quarter, Corey Close calls a timeout. And, man, I tell you, great response by UCLA out of that timeout. Mm-hmm. You tell me what happened, but they give up an 8-0 run. Wide open shots. Great response by UCLA. If I'm Iowa's defense, what on earth are we doing?
Honestly, I don't think our defense is great outside of like a quarter and a half.
Well, that was the stretch. That was the stretch. Like out of that timeout, that had to be the messaging in the timeout, right? Girls, this is it right here. We're within 13. We got like 5 minutes to go. It's do or die. So we better come out here guns a-blazing. They come out here and give up 2 open threes and a layup.
Open threes at that.
What are we doing? Great offensive coaching, I guess. So anyways, all right, let's go to our first caller. We got Kayla on the line. Kayla, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm actually a student at the University of Iowa, so
awesome.
I grew up watching Cash play, so really nice to talk to you. My first question is about screens. It feels like we should be, do you think we're using them or setting as good of screens as we should be? And are our guards using them as well as they should be?
Absolutely not. I think you know that answer. No. 2 things. One, some of our screens are ineffective because of where the screener's back is pointing. It's easier for the defender to slide underneath when your back is not pointing the correct direction. So for those who are not super familiar with that, when you're a screener, you want your back to point where you want the guard to go. And a lot of the times we are like flat almost, and then the guard can just slide right around. So I do think that needs to change a little bit. As far as using screens, I think we've gotten better at it, but our spacing is my problem with that. I think that it's almost like, I don't know if they're trying to ball screen or if it's like when all fails, let's set a ball screen. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Hopefully this works because let's see. You guys tell me if you can see it or not. And hopefully it's like the right direction. Yeah! Okay.
This is great. I'm glad you just busted it out. And the way you introduced it was just phenomenal. So
thank you so much. I try. All right. So this is how we are set up right now. Right? So you've got Chit Chat, usually or Stremlo. You've got a guard in the corner. You have one of the post players in here. The whole purpose of this lineup was obviously to get the lob. Right? That was the whole purpose of when we started that. But because we are not good shooters in the post, you have the defense like this. So this player is all the way down here. So now there's nowhere to go. You can't drive. You can't do anything. What I want to see happen is this guard right here needs to be over here, okay? because now that brings her defense over. Now this right here is going to come ball screen, and then she can come over. And the reason why I say that is even if this post player comes up to guard that ball screen, that's okay because now we have a one-on-one with the post player. I'm all good for that. Majority of the time, that's not going to happen though. They're going to stay right here, and they're going to let Chit Chat shoot this little mid-range right here. I love that. The other piece is that I would like to see our post come on this side, opposite of the ball screen. Don't be on the same side. Leave it alone. If any point in time we want to get this, make it a different play call. But for this purpose, the reason why I say that is as this ball screener is coming off, I would want to see Ava duck in right here. Because now you have no other option. Somebody's got to guard this ball screen. And at times, she's got to come out, and now we're ducking right into Ava there. Hannah has proven she can make this little midi right here. She can roll a little wider. This guard is going to transition up because this now guard is going to come out of it. And this guard is going to be your outlet pass. Here. There's a few different ways to run the ball screen. You can have an open corner. You can have an empty corner. Completely up to you. It doesn't matter. But, again, our spacing is so bad. Because right now, how can you run a ball screen like this? Where is she going to go? You can't have somebody up here. That makes no sense. Now, if this is Taylor Stremlo, leave all of this open. Because Taylor Stremlo can make something happen here. Now she's got a guard outlet that can go to the corner. She's got a little bit more room here. If this is Chit Chat coming off of this, move the post player over here. Because Chit Chat is a mid-range girl, or she can make that nice duck into Ava. One of those options. I would like to see that better. And when I was talking about the screening angle, I want to make sure I make this right. So as she's coming to screen, right now, her back is like this. You see that? Mm-hmm. So now the guard can just slide right under or over. You're not really doing anything. But as a post player, your screen has to be like this. Because now your back is pointing to the basket. As a guard, when you're here guarding, how are you going to get over the screen? So now if she cuts that screen shoulder to shoulder, the guard is stuck. So I agree your statement about us not using screens, but I think our spacing is really the issue because we have to transition out of that overload is what that's called when you have everybody on one half of the court and get more spaced out so that we can get in and give our post more room to work. There's just so much. Our spacing is wrong because of what we're capable of doing. Should I say that? We have all the spacing on the backside. Well, really, we don't need that. We don't need that. We can feed it right in and let our post players go to work. Forget the lob. We can't even make the lob pass. So, like, what's the point of even running it? I hope that makes sense.
So before you go to your next question, Kayla, let me just clarify something. Did you say you were a student at Iowa State or at Iowa? Are you?
She is.
I am.
But then you said you watched Kasheen growing up.
I'm from Solon, so.
Okay.
That's where Lisa Bluto lives, I believe.
So where all the Levines live. So were you friends with Callie in high school?
Yeah, we're in the same grade, so.
Okay.
Known her since preschool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can go several places with that, but my reason I brought that up is I'm not trying to aid you, Kasheen, but the fact that, Kayla, you said you watched Kasheen growing up, that's pretty cool because you would have been how old when Kasheen was playing?
Let's see. I think I looked up. Did you graduate in like 2011?
Yes.
Was that right? Okay, that's when I started kindergarten.
That's she's one of the OGs, Cash. Like
she was probably at like camp or something at this point. Like one of those like, we have all the little kid camp. That was like my favorite camp.
Actually. I wish. I like have an Iowa women's basketball onesie from when I was a baby.
We love that. Not the Iowa women's basketball onesie. That's how you know it's real. Mm-hmm.
Cash loves the Iowa onesies. If you can't already tell. I mean, she's wearing one right now. So, sorry, Kayla. Go ahead with your next question.
Okay, so I saw. How did you feel about Journey playing the three? Because we went kind of all over the place with the three. Because Tegan was struggling, Kylie was struggling, Addie was struggling, and where do we go from that? Because those minutes are rough. I
got to give Jen a little credit because I didn't think that she would make that change. Like I thought she would go like Mulaney, maybe Levine, but she might be a broken nose situation, so that might be a little iffy. So I was a little shocked by it, but I actually liked it. We're bigger. What I would like, this is what I would like. See, things like this, right? If you're gonna use, okay, Journey at the 3, we're going to take full advantage. Okay. So you know that play where I'm trying to think about where they are.
You're forcing me to take myself out of here.
So sorry. It's okay. I don't remember where everybody is, but there's a play where our post player goes to down screen a guard. I want to reverse that. Right? Okay. Because now, have Journey go down. This used to be my play because I was a post-up guard. Have Journey go down screen somebody. I don't really care who. Right? And then she now has an isolation here against a guard. There needs to be some kind of play that Journey has an isolation on the post with a 3 player. Doesn't matter how you do it. I don't really care. Mine was a down screen of sorts. Literally, that's all I did. I went here. I went to go down screen. They came up and I literally sealed. That was it. So again, if we're going to use her. If she's going to be at a 3, I mean, she made a 3 today. I like it. It didn't look bad, so I ain't mad at it. But if we're going to use her, we need to put in some kind of post-up isolation for her on the block. Like she's been playing the 4 all year. Like, so let her post up against a guard. I'll take that any day of the week. So for me, I liked it. I'm not mad at it. I think, like I said, it makes us bigger. It makes us stronger. If we can just figure out how to use her to all of her abilities, I'm down for it.
Anything else, Kayla?
Nope, that was it. I love your show, and thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate
Thanks
you
for watching for how many ever years?
Yeah, that's that. I guess I didn't aid you on that, Kasheen, but
listen, I know I'm old. You ain't got to worry about me. I know I'm old.
How does that make you? I mean, I never get to really ask you this question. How does that make you feel to hear from somebody?
It's a 2-part, right? Like, wow, time flies, right? But at the same point, we have such great fans that they've literally been watching.
Well,
for 14 years.
There is a faction of the fan base that has only been watching for 4 or 5 years. And so there's people who have come on here and said, I never watched you, Kasheen. I had to look you up. And they look you up and they find out how great you were, but they didn't watch you live. So like, that's got to feel good just to be reminded that there are people that did appreciate you when you were at Iowa, and they appreciated Iowa basketball even back then. So
yeah, crazy, because I'm about to be 37 in a month. That's insane.
All right, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kasheen Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hi, this is Annie from New York.
Hey, Annie. How are you?
How you doing, guys?
We're doing good.
Yeah, I hope you're staying warm and safe. I can't believe you got a foot of snow. We got a foot of snow last week. That's crazy.
Yes,
but anyway, people in Iowa are used to that. But
yeah, we're the only ones that didn't get it. So I'll take it.
Know. You're used to it. It's a drop in the bucket where you live. Anyway, I like your plan on your clipboard. That looks really good because they need more effective screens. Their screens just aren't effective. I like the way you charted that all out. That made a lot of sense. The pick and roll, that's all basic basketball.
Yeah.
Not happening. Yeah, that's basic basketball. And then the backup pick, like you said, Ava, in the paint. That would work great.
Mm-hmm.
That would work great. And that's another backup pick. That you're not seeing that cohesiveness, They look a little lost on offense. I think that's why they had so many turnovers, because it almost looks like they're assuming where they're passing the ball and the person's like not there, especially when they throw the ball out of bounds. That kills me.
It seemed like they were having success. I mean, I look back at the box score and I see 5 fast break points, but Cash, they did hit the fast break a couple of times with Ava early in that second half. What's the key to against a team like UCLA that is fast, that's athletic, that's long? What's the key to, besides just getting stops, to getting into the fast break? Is that all on the point guard and getting your team going and running and trying to get tempo points?
It starts with the guards. I would say that. I think that it starts with it starts with the guards, because if the guards are pushing and the post players are nowhere to be found, it's easier to push the post to do that. Honestly speaking, I think that I've said this months ago. Our outlet passes are so slow. My God, it's like the post players are like holding. They don't know who to go to. Like, just pass it.
Yes, they look lost on offense. Which is right. They look like they're lost. They're like they're looking for someone and they're not there, and then they throw the ball anyway. I don't know.
Choose a side.
I got another thing I want to ask you. Journey played really well today. You know, she came out. I thought she was making a difference. You think she should get more playing time or start?
Journey is not starting her.
No, okay.
But she should play as much as she can, right?
That's what I think. Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal: if she's able to play the three effectively, then you can be flexible with things, right? Kylie can look. You don't have to play whoever is filling in for McCabe at the 2, right? You can play Chit Chat. You can play combinations of Chit Chat, Strimlo, Kylie, Chit Chat, Strimlo, Houston, Addie, Kylie, Houston. Like, you can really mix and match there if Houston's flexible enough. And you made the comment to our previous caller from Solon. I guess Levine's just there's no way. There is no way.
Agreed.
That you know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
That she's that bad. So
we've seen her a couple times, and I didn't think she was horrible to the point where you're playing Mulaney over her. Like, what's happening here?
They're playing Mulaney over her right now. So that tells me she's probably there. There's some limitation. I know she came in late in the USC game with the mask on, but my guess is there's a limitation there, and
for sure.
It was nice to see. Hey, Annie, I'll say this: it was nice to see Emily Rodriguez on a bike with her team out in California. The reason I brought it up, of course, they were having fun in the sun. Yeah, I had a guy right away.
Santa Monica's beautiful. And this time of the year, they must be the only warm place in the United States, the way it looks.
Annie, I had a guy respond to me on Twitter when I retweeted that picture, and he said, "So she's good enough to ride a bike, but she can't practice with her teammates."
I said back, first of all, about that. I know.
I said,
they get a lot of what for that.
Do you really know that she's not practicing at all?
Oh,
how do you know that?
Of course they practice. It's people, social media. You know what it is.
Kasheen,
people draw conclusions too fast.
Kasheen, my guess
everybody
is
has an opinion, and it's terrible.
Kasheen, my guess is that Emily Rodriguez.
It was even cold in Florida. I heard it was 35 degrees in Miami today.
Kasheen,
really?
Would you say?
That's what I heard.
Okay. Kasheen, can we agree, Kasheen, that it's likely Emily Rodriguez is participating in some level of practice at this stage in her recovery?
She's doing something. It could be non-contact, but I'm sure she's doing
if she's riding a bike out in California,
she's doing something.
She's got to be doing something there.
Yeah,
right?
They have
it's probably non-contact.
Times. They have conditioning going on. Come on.
Yep. So I just think
they're not on vacation.
Maybe it's a good sign that she is physically getting closer. The question becomes, is Iowa, because we don't know, because nobody asks Jan, but or at least recently, I don't believe it's been asked. Is she at a point now in her season as we enter February where it's more advantageous for her to take a medical red shirt? I think it's more advantageous for Iowa. They need her now, right? I would be encouraging her to play, but from a personal standpoint, she may be trying to save that extra year of eligibility. So, anyways, not to go off on a tangent there, Annie. Anything else for Kasheen?
I just think you could see the loss without McCabe too. The outside shooting, she's usually effective and consistent. That's a big help. Out from the outside, we lost a good shooter too, so that makes a big difference too. They used to playing with her all year too.
And boy, didn't she look sad on the sidelines, Kasheen?
Yeah, she want to play.
She just, of course she wants to play. It's sad. It's just a sad situation.
It's a tough
all
loss.
around.
It's a bad situation, exactly.
Yep.
Well, you guys stay safe and warm.
All right, Annie. Thanks for calling in.
Hope
Always
we can turn it around. Take good care, you guys.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Yeah. Enough said on the McCabe thing. Just heartbreaking for everybody. Lomansky says with the super chat, mentioned before players at ceiling, Journey has room to ascend. Others who can ascend? question from Lomansky. Who else has the biggest room for growth besides Addie? I think is the obvious one.
Yeah. I think Taylor Shrimlow has
A lot, yeah.
a lot of room too.
Yeah.
I think that who I think actually has a lot of room that could grow. It just depends. Layla.
Yeah. How much as a big is that going to happen in the out of season though?
Majority of it.
Yeah. How is there a play? Can you pin this down at all in February and March? Which player or players do you believe are in best position to ascend now to give them max production in March?
Taylor Shrimlow and Journey Houston.
Okay. Yeah. I would say
those two.
I think that's safe to say. Because I think Addie, I agree with Laura. I'm not a deal hater at all, but I just think with Addie, you're just going to have lots of ups and downs. Like she could come back home in the next 2 games against more inferior opponents, I guess is the best way to describe Washington and Minnesota, and she may play really well. But then she goes on the road to Lincoln the next game, and she could put another goose egg up there. And that's why I don't know personally that I would be starting her. I know what she can give you, and she's going to play. She's going to keep playing. But I don't know that I'd be starting her. Kim wants to know about your starting 5. Give me a starting 5 as of February 1st.
It's Kylie, Taylor Shrimlow, Hannah, Ava.
Okay. All right. So no fireworks there. DJT says, I agree with Kasheen from a SC fan, South Carolina fan. Don did it make a change in the start? Didn't make a change in the starting lineup.
She did make a change in the starting lineup. 6'6" to the bench and the talented whoever that is, Agot in the lineup.
Yeah,
freshman Agot.
Maybe not a great example, just because South Carolina's probably got talent coming out of their ears.
Right? They don't care.
Well, no, I'm saying it's easy to when you have is this Agot? Is she a 5-star?
I'm sure she is.
Okay, so it's easy to see when I know Addie deals a 5-star too, but it's easy that when you have 5 stars sitting on the bench, we'll put her in instead. I mean,
it shouldn't matter. In my opinion, 5-star or not, it don't matter. If you're not producing, you're not producing. If it's the best interest of the team, then that's what we're gonna do. And again, Taylor started already, so it's not like this is a situation where you're sitting Addie deal for somebody that has never started before. No, you're starting someone that started and played very well starting at that.
All right, let's go back to our phone line. We got Lomansky with us. Lomansky, welcome.
You kind of surprised me. I have a face for radio, and you're going to risk it.
Hey, but you got the shirt on. Appreciate that. Hey, keep it on keep it on in general. But also, we got men's basketball coming up in, an hour? Big game out in Eugene.
Yeah, I'm a little superstitious. I'm going to keep it on. I'm gonna challenge you, Corey. I want you with a clipboard. Your next podcast doesn't have to be today because it's a short notice, but I want to see you with the clipboard making pointers with your clipboard.
Okay. I was thinking about this the other day. Somebody called me an expert on there, and whenever somebody calls me that, I always chuckle because I'm like, listen, I'm no more of an expert than you or anyone else that listens to the show. Now, Cash is totally in a different realm, but I like to think of myself, Lomansky, as a common sense analyst. That's what I am. I'm a common sense analyst. I look at the game from a very, very much a common sense lens. So, and I don't think a lot of people do that. Hopefully that's something I bring to the show that others don't, because I don't think people can. Most of it's lack of, objectivity. They just can't bring themselves to be critical and to look at things, take a step back and look at things from a different perspective. So anyways, go ahead, Lomansky.
You shouldn't speak for me.
I'm not. I just said go ahead.
No, I'm an expert in my own mind, just like Cy-Hawk Money. That's what him and I have in common. That we both really think we're experts in our own mind.
He's Corey. You're talking about caller Corey. He's not in the queue, but now that you called him out, he's probably going to get in the queue. So thanks a lot.
No, he threatened
that comment right there. Cash found a pen. I did not find a pen.
Juliana found
VMS told me to make a Amazon wish list. That's what happened.
Oh, VMS stepping up to the board.
Yeah, he got me this too. Well, I mean, I said I needed it. But yeah, he told me to make an Amazon wish list for anything I need for the show. Here we are.
Shout out VMS. VMS also paid for Ryan Scahill's first month of Discord that started. And by the way, shout out to Ryan. He signed up for a year, so he's got 13 months in front of him. And then he also, I think, VMS also got Doug Moore into our Discord for his first month. So VMS is helping everybody out. Don't rip on VMS, Lomansky.
He's a good man. Yep. I want a little debate between you two guys because guy and gal. Sorry, Cash.
Okay.
I like to spur debate. The hook by Betts. I didn't use my my cow squeeze stress reliever tonight, but the Betts hooks down deep. Getting a technical, is there a difference getting a technical for the head coach to get a technical at home versus away? That's my first question.
No.
There's no difference.
Not in my opinion.
Okay.
The only difference that there would be is the crowd. That's it.
Well, that's you read my mind. That's what I thought. Maybe you got to take that into consideration. If you're on the sideline, Cash, versus me, I think our temperament would be similar.
You know what? I actually agree with that.
And in the first half, because I would view us as the underdog, and I think I have certain, you look at Ava come out in the second half. Oh, she can bring it if she wants to. She might be too nice, but she'll get better at that. I would have picked up a tee on the second non-call on a hook, and I would go right in the rest space and get teed up in the first half because we're the underdog. What would you do?
I think, I think it depends on your team. To be honest with you. Some teams get riled up and they're like, I don't know their temperament. So some players, the only reason why technical works is if your players then feel like they have to protect you as a coach. If they now feel like, okay, we got you, coach, like that kind of thing. I think some people might, but I don't know if the whole team would. I think, but I will say this. Why not try it? You never know. You weren't supposed to win anyways. Why not give it a whirl? See what happens. Maybe you might get lucky.
Isn't that how you learn about your team if you haven't been a Lisa Bluter?
Yeah, but I think that Lisa Bluter wasn't a big techie either. But I think Coach Jay cares too much about what people think, in my opinion.
You and I don't care what we think. That's why I come on here.
That's what I could care less. Hate me, love me. I really don't care. But
I love you, Cash.
Well, thank you. But I think that, why not? Like, why not just throw it out there, see what we get? Your team might be shocked, right? Like, oh my God, she's got 10. Just make sure it's for a good thing. Like, make sure it's for something out, egregious. You know what I'm saying? Even that one they called a foul on Layla Hayes when she actually worked to get around and tap the ball away. I was like, what is that? Like, that kind of thing. She could have got one there. But yeah, she should. Why not?
Is that a yes for you? You would have got teed up today?
I would have. Why not? Because them wrestlers pissed me off at some point.
Corey, same question.
I would have. When I would have gotten teed up, I'd have gotten teed up at the end of the quarter on that final shot, and I would have done it because it would have been the perfect time to get teed up, right?
Yeah, that travel was crazy.
Player gets away with a blatant travel, turns into a 3, crowd goes nuts, momentum shifting. I'd have gotten right in the face. I would have pulled one of the Fran McCaffrey tees.
I like that one.
From Madison.
I like that one.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Technical foul where I think you were playing at Iowa at the time, Kasheen, where Fran made contact with an official and he got ripped from the game.
Okay, we don't want to go that far. We don't want to go that far. But
you're saying you wouldn't get ejected. You'd say you'd just
no, I'd get teed up though. But that would have been a great time too, because then you would have came back and you'd have been fired up with your team in the huddle. Yep. I like that one.
Yep.
That would have been a good one because she got away with 6 travels. So
I agree. And I think at that point, now I've never played the game at that level, right? But I think at that point in the flow of a game like this, momentum has already shifted. The crowd's already going nuts. You know the crowd's going to go nuts when you get a technical. Let's just get a technical now when the crowd's already going nuts, right? It's like they're not going to go more nuts. They're already going nuts. It's like Jerry Seinfeld's old bit, Lomansky, right? Like once you're wet, you're already wet. Once you're dry, you're already dry. Like once you're dead, like if I shoot you and you're dead, like you're already dead, right? You're not going to die again. You're dead, right? Well, let's hope YouTube doesn't demonetize me for just saying the word "shoot you." Please, I hope context here from YouTube doesn't.
That's not what you said. That's not what I heard.
Anyways, the point is, I would have done it because the crowd was already riled. That's my point, and I would like to see that because she was mad. I mean, there was a couple of times in that first half where Jan was.
Yeah, she said BS.
I saw
on
that
national television. I'm like,
I saw that. I read her lips. Is she a vulgar coach normally?
No, not at all.
Really? Interesting.
BS. I can see that. That's not to me.
Well, she didn't say BS. She said what that.
I know what she said, but that in itself, that's like kindergarten vulgarity. Like that's not really like.
Let's not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to tell you how to parent, but let's not instill that in Juliana. Okay.
No, we're not going to do that. But I feel like, come on, as an adult, that's really nothing.
Yeah.
It could. There's people have said a lot worse.
All right, Lomansky. Anything else?
Am I out of time, Corey?
You got one more question.
Well, I'll let you go then because it's not a question. I was going to indulge myself on my technical experience as a coach, but we'll save that for another night.
Okay. Thanks, Lomansky. Appreciate you being here, sir. All right, super chats. Let's see. We appreciate Lomansky's super chat from earlier. Annie, she threw in one early as well. Offense looks like a lost cause, causes bad passes and turnovers. Yeah, she mentioned that in her call. Lomansky also added, if Chit Chat had an elite guard beside her, it would help. Journey will be a star sooner than later. And, McCabe wasn't some elite guard, but we have seen the difference with having McCabe alongside Chit Chat and now not. Katie Lee, thank you, Katie. She's in our Discord as well. Preach and teach Cash. So we
what was the girl's name who said she was Iowa, whatever?
That was Kayla. And I see all these.
Call in more often. Kayla, call in more often.
Man, this is amazing. These people in the chat. I don't know. Let's see here. So Amanda said she loved the call. There were a lot of people that said they loved hearing from Kayla. VMS said that Kayla needs to join the Discord. And then how about this? I caught this one as well. YouTube Stuck says, "Is this Solon softball legend, Kayla?" So
Kayla, please enter the chat. We need to know. If maybe she was. Okay.
Maybe she was being a little bit modest with her athletic background there.
Yeah, I gotta know now. I gotta know if I was speaking to royalty or not. Anyways.
All right. Brandon says, Cash, why can't Journey play the 3? I think you said she can, right?
She should.
She can. She should. Go Hawk says, will Tegan Mulaney hit a 3 this season?
I'm better off winning the lottery.
Okay. So hey, look. She had a decent look tonight, and it could have went in.
And
it could have went in. It did not.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. It always coulda, shoulda, woulda.
You're so mean.
I'm not mean. I'm
You're
just
so mean.
I'm realistic.
Deborah, thank you for reminding everybody to hit the like button. Same with Bobby. He says, smash that like button. Jerry wants to know about running the floor. Okay. I asked you this earlier about what the key there is, but he says, why is it that we've given up on running the floor? I mean, what is it that's causing Iowa? I asked you about the key. You said, well, they need a point guard that's Chit Chat. I mean, she's an aggressive point guard. She's a good passer. She's good in the fast break. Why does this team struggle to get in the fast break?
1, our outlet passes suck. I said that before. 2, there has to be a concerted effort to push people to do that. And I don't see either. I don't see those two things happening. We do sometimes, but it's not, I don't think that that's like ingrained.
Again, I think they look better when they do.
I remember like at practices, we used to tell even our freshmen, like, if you make it through the first 45 minutes of practice, you straight. Because the first 45 minutes of practice is go, 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 go. You're exhausted. That's just how I feel about it. Doing so many different full court drills, this, that, whatever. And then after that, we broke down into like our individual positions, and then we'll get into some other things. But I think it's a combination of a few things. I don't think that Coach J is that's not for her, honestly.
Mike is he's throwing the towel in on Kylie. He says, I've given for hating on Kylie, but other than being there for the team, what the blank is going on? I now think it might be there's nobody else to replace her. Well, she did not play well tonight offensively. But she gonna play a ton of minutes.
Ain't got no choice.
They don't got guards. All right, they just don't. Timothy, Cash, why didn't Iowa try to go zone a little bit to throw off UCLA? It was at a point where they were just throwing the ball down to Betts one-on-one easily. This is the same conversation we had with the Audie Crooks thing. Why is Iowa content with just letting these dominant bigs get theirs? And now UCLA is harder because if you were to compare Iowa State to UCLA, my guess is you'd look at them and say that UCLA just has better weapons all around Lauren Betts than Audie Crooks has around her. But this kind of was the same deal in that second half. They were just kind of letting Ava go one-on-one with her, and she's not going to win that battle. I mean, Ava's just not big enough, not strong enough yet. And there's not many bigs in the country that are going to win that battle one-on-one. So why not bring a double? Or as Timothy says, go zone, mix up your defense a little bit. What did you think of the defensive mindset against Lauren Betts?
Well, first of all, I like to bring up old stuff sometimes. Y'all remember last year when Ava was a freshman and everybody was on me about how Ava can handle so-and-so. And I was like, no, we do not need to play her against UCLA. She's going to get manhandled because she's not strong enough.
Well, that was last year. That was last year.
That's exactly my point.
So
this year, she was still getting manhandled. Not as much as probably last year, I will say that. And she kind of came back at her offensively. I mean, they canceled each other out. But I still liked Ava's mindset this go around, or at least in the second half, where she was like, you know what? She gonna have to guard me. I like that. Let's stick with that. But I don't understand, back to your question, I don't understand why we don't have like backup plans. Like your game plan should have multiple layers. It shouldn't just be, here's what it is. If this works, if this doesn't work, oh, well. Like, there should be like ABC. Like, okay, we're going to go with A. If A don't work, here's B. Like, if B don't work, here's C. And then we're going to throw the kitchen sink at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should be like layers to it. And at some points, I'm like, we not trying to front. We not trying to play zone. Hell, I remember Lisa Bluter doing like a triangle and two for some people. Like, it was just random stuff, which is totally fine, right? Like, but like, where is the definition of a game plan? Like, there's got to be layers. So I don't understand it, but hey, I don't know. And I got it all figured out.
Here's a user who wants to know about the foul that was removed at halftime against Betts, apparently.
Yeah, apparently they said it wasn't on her. I think the only reason why that happens usually is that somebody either complained. I'm assuming UCLA was like, no, that foul was not on her.
Yeah.
Because they have like tablets and stuff where they can like replay, things. So my assumption is they was like, that's not on her.
I guess I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that being done like that long.
Most of the time, most people don't care that much, honestly speaking.
Huh. That's interesting. Okay.
But they must have made a big stink about it.
Kayla's back in the chat. She says, I did play softball. I would not consider myself royalty. So
that is the Kayla from Solid.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who YouTube Sucks is, but people pick up on stuff right away. So small town Iowa, I guess. YouTube Sucks adds, do you think Addie can improve her quickness at this point? Hopefully she can and won't be stuck in the mud for 4 years.
Definitely not now. That takes time.
But I mean, I think he's saying this late in her life, like, can she, like, now she's in college, how much quicker can she get as a college athlete?
You can get quicker with strength. She's going to need to do a lot of explosive activities in the weight room, like a lot of Olympic lifting with explosive things, because she's got to get her legs 10 times stronger in order for her to even remotely get a little bit quicker. Now she's not, there's a limit now, right? Like everybody's got a limit, but in her case, she has some room to grow in that aspect.
Courtney says, Cash, how do we get Chit Chat to take more shots? Is it a lack of confidence or fire, or is it her height that is causing her to take fewer shots as of late? It's a good question.
Have a better offense and allow her to be in Taylor McCabe spots.
I don't think she's taking too few shots. To me, she looks a little more aggressive now. I mean,
I think what they're saying is they want Chit Chat to be our star. They want Chit Chat to be the person that we go to when we need a shot, which I'm not disagreeing, right? Like I'm not there. I'm not disagreeing. But at the same point in time, like she's shooting, what did they say on the thing? 47. She ain't now, but she was shooting like 47 or 40, whatever the heck it was.
3, yeah.
We should be running what we was running for Taylor, for her. Especially when you have Stremlo in there.
Hey, let's give Chit Chat some credit. Most of those threes were not like wide open spot up threes.
Definitely not wide open.
Creating space, a lot of step backs.
Yep.
You know, some of those are deep. So
Taylor McCabe has her own plays. So Chit Chat needs to take those plays over. If they were smart, they would do that, especially when Stremlo is in the game, or heck, even Addie Deal. Both of them could run a point. Run plays for Chit Chat.
I don't trust Addie Deal running a point.
Okay, well.
I'm just telling you that. I'm just being honest again. Objectivity. I don't trust her running the point. To me, she's a turnover waiting to happen still. Because she's going up against quicker, feistier, defensive-minded guards than she ever has. And she'll get there, but I just think, you talk about the learning curve. We talk about it in football, right? Huge learning curve. That's why you don't see true freshman quarterbacks playing. Do you see true freshman running backs play? Yeah. You see some true freshman receivers play. Absolutely. Even occasionally tight end, or even on occasion the offensive line. More rare. It's a lot more common on the defensive line at DB, but I'd say the same thing for basketball, right? It's very rare to see a true freshman point guard run the show. So that's why I think Chit Chat's the most important piece to not get injured right now. I mean, it's her and Ava. It's 1A, 1B. Dwayne says, Cash, are you open to joining the Iowa staff?
My answer remains the same as last year.
There is not a spot open, Dwayne. So, RK, Cash, why can't we give our posts any green light to create 8 feet out? What a box Jan has put them in. Not hard to scout us, really.
When you say create, what do you mean exactly? Because we can't shoot. So you can't be talking about that. So are we saying as in like take them off the dribble? It's hard to take them off the dribble when somebody is standing 5 feet off of you.
Ava can shoot a little bit, but I still think from a scouting perspective, if I'm an opposing coach, I'm giving her that shot all day long.
All day.
I'm going to take my odds on that. I don't know what she's
I'm going to take my odds on that too. I'd rather Ava be shooting that than be in the paint. So I'm totally fine with that.
Yep. Brandon says, Cash, weren't you #1 pick in Game Time League in North Liberty? What's your favorite Game Time memory?
I think, for 2 years. My last 2 years, I was #1. When I scored 42 points and won the title, absolutely.
Were those pretty fun? Those games?
Oh, my God. Listen, I feel so bad for them now because they don't have that experience.
I know.
That was the best time ever was Game Time League. Like, and the crazy part about it is if it was still going on, I couldn't imagine the amount of fans like who would just be coming on a random I don't know what day it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we had fans there then. So to have what it is now, It's crazy. Now,
You
mind
can do
you,
it.
part of that is because they literally get to see you up close. Like we walking in the same hallway, like
Yeah.
things like that. So that was really cool. I miss that. If there was one thing outside of the norm that goes unnoticed that I miss the most is Game Time League.
I was obviously really young. I'm trying to think when prime time and game time went away. It wasn't that many years ago, but I never got to go to those events. As a kid, I saw YouTube, like I'd watch you and Matt Gatens and these different players get interviewed at Prime Time League. I'd watch highlights, but I never got to actually go and watch. So that's a regret.
Game Time League was dope. For sure.
All right.
I actually still have those jerseys somewhere in like one of my boxes. My mom keeps everything, so it's in one of those boxes somewhere.
Shout out Randy Larson.
Yes, man. Rest in peace.
Yep. David says Hawks beat 3 top 20 teams, and McCabe gets hurt right before the West Coast trip. Hawks look out of sorts at USC. Let's see how they rebound going into the next game. Go Hawks.
Yeah. It's home, right? Jesus Christ. Tell me it's home. Okay. I think that would be a good bounce back for them because they're in the comfort of their own home. They have the fans backing them. They can kind of focus on the coaches now have film of what Iowa women's basketball looks like without Taylor McCabe.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that and break that down in between games like that on the road because you have to focus on the next team. Now you have time to really break down us and work on us this week.
They play Thursday, so they get fairly long, fairly long break there. Let's see. RK says last 2 games of perimeter guards have been in our face. Can we not drive and beat them off the bounce and create?
This might be my one. I have a lot of things, but this is my one ick when it comes to Kylie Fierbach. She seems to have this really bad habit of dribbling to the wing and picking it up before anybody is open. Like it's almost like she knows what maybe the play is supposed to be. I don't know. But she does not keep her dribble alive waiting for somebody to be open. She just picks it up and then now she's on her heels and she ends up throwing the ball away. Every time. Majority of the time. And Taylor is also like that to a degree. Now, I will say Taylor tends to fight people off a little bit more or try to. But if somebody's all over you, go by them. 9 times out of 10, they're going to foul you. Like, because their hips and pelvises is all in your space. So if that's the case, you at least get a hip check or something. But it just seems like we don't have enough drivers on the team to begin with that mentality, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, Deal does it too. You're right. Deal does it too. We have way too many cars outside of Chit Chat who do it. Let's just say that. Yeah. But I guess Kylie makes me more angry because she is what is she? A 5th year? How long has she been in college?
Yeah.
How much basketball has she been a part of?
Yeah.
So yeah, that Deal, fine. Even Taylor Stremlo, she's only a sophomore.
Okay. I love this comment from John. Thank you, John. He says, love this platform. I learn every time I tune in, whether Coach, Gary, or Don or Cash Money. Okay. Oh, I see what he's saying. Whether Coach Gary or Coach Don or Cash Money. I see. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that. Those are the types of comments that make me happy to read, and because I feel the same way. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to do shows with people like Kasheen and Don and Gary and Matt Kroll, and it's really fun. So, and obviously being able to connect everybody to these Hawkeye greats is really fun as well. Okay, so before we finish up here, MKBWMN. I don't know how to say that, so I'm just going to read the letters. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate that. And I shared the stats earlier, and I'll pop those back up here just so people can see them. This is the box score from today. I ran through some of the split box score stats, but you see the final numbers for the Hawks. Ava Hayden is our player of the game with 19 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 5 at the line, 3 rebounds, finished with 4 personal fouls. Chit Chat Wright had 10 points on 3 of 8 shooting with 7 assists. Hannah Stolke with 13 points. 5 of 6 free throw shooting. 5 of 6 from the field, 3 of 6 free throw shooting, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Kasheen, does Hannah Stuelke play down to competition? Does she play up to good competition, but also play down to lousy competition?
I don't know what Hannah Stuelke be doing. I honestly,
it just seems like she plays better. Hear me out on this. Doesn't she play better against UCLA and these teams at Ohio State? And then when she plays Indiana, Northwestern, and USC, she didn't come out with energy.
She played that great today, personally speaking.
I thought she was, 8 rebounds. She had 1 rebound against USC the other
I
night.
understand. Don't get me wrong. But that's not Hannah that got us a W against Ohio State. That's not Hannah who got us a W at Maryland. It's not.
But I'm just saying from an energy standpoint, that's rebounding numbers are reflective of that, right? 1 rebound against USC,
no.
8 tonight.
Yes and no, because when she was playing badly, she was still rebounding.
She did the other night.
Early in the season. Yesterday was our last game was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen Hannah with 1 rebound. That was crazy. But I don't know. I think maybe I've also seen Hannah disappear against competition too. So I don't know.
I'm just looking. I'm going to challenge you on that. Okay, she did have 12. She did have 12 and 12 against Indiana. I'll give you that. But she had 8 and 5 against Northwestern.
The whole team played badly.
Let me run through the numbers of. Listen to these numbers. Maybe you'll change your tune after you hear this. Let's start with that Iowa State game. Iowa State, she goes 10 points, 15 rebounds. Phenomenal, right? 15 rebounds. Now against Lindenwood, she scored 31 with just 6 rebounds. UConn, she goes 17 and 5 plus 5 assists. I'd say that's playing up to the competition. Penn State, okay, she went 14 and 8. Nebraska 21 and 10. Northwestern 8 and 5. Indiana 12 and 12. Oregon 18 and 8. Yeah, maybe there's not a correlation there. I mean, she's been really good on the glass ever since the turn of the calendar year.
Yes, except for the last game.
And that was just odd.
That was weird.
The team rebounded really well. But anyways, back to these stats. Strimlow with 12, 5 of 9 from the field, 4 assists. Journey Houston had 7 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Mulaney had 1 point, 0 for 2. And by the way, Addie Deal, 3 points, 1 of 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3.
God.
Iowa shot 43% for the game from the field and 74% from the line, 24% from 3.
5 or 21 ain't gonna get it done. Period.
UCLA, you had Lauren Betts with 16 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 4 rebounds. She had foul trouble, 4 personal fouls. Would have had 5, I guess, if you don't take that one away at halftime. How do you pronounce this girl's name? Is it Dugalich? Dugalich. 22 points, 9 of 13, 3 of 4 from 3. And let's see here.
Yeah. That was like an Addie Deal kind of game, like somebody who just came off the bench and just started hitting. That's what that was.
The younger Betts had 7 points and 7 rebounds.
She is not as good as her sister, unfortunately.
Well, she's young.
I don't care. When Betts was young, she was still effective.
Well, she's 6'8".
Again.
Hawkeyes had 6 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Neepkins had 10 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Lear Walker had 10 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, and Rice had 17 points, 7 assists, 4 boards. Pretty balanced numbers for the Bruins. Shot 58% from the field and shot 50% from 3. They only take 12 threes on the night, and they're perfect at the foul line. That's why they're so good, right? I mean, those numbers that we just, and that's not talking about the disruption that they have on the defensive end, in part because of their length and athleticism.
UCLA is going to have problems, though, later.
Why?
They're not going to be able to guard athletic teams. That's a fact. We're not athletic, so that's not my thing.
Yeah.
I think they're a good team, don't get me wrong. But they're going to have trouble against Texas. Well, I think they lost to Texas already, right?
They may have. I don't know.
I think it was Texas. Anyways, if not, they have trouble with the Texas. They'll even have trouble with LSU.
Yeah.
They will have trouble with those kinds of teams. Heck, they may even have trouble with like an Oklahoma.
I don't know, man. They beat Oklahoma.
What was the score?
Beat them by 14.
Where? And when? I only say when because Oklahoma's better now than they were at the beginning of the season.
Let's see here. They beat them they played them in Sacramento in November.
Okay. Yeah, the freshman is playing a lot better now.
Early November. They beat early November. They beat Oklahoma. They beat North Carolina. They beat Duke. They beat Duke by 30.
Duke is. Go ahead.
Duke is good.
Duke was horrible at the beginning of the season. They were like. They had such a bad slide. Oh my god.
They won. They beat somebody today by 30, and they're in like the top 20.
Good for them. But Duke wasn't what they when they played them. Duke was like 6th or something.
Okay.
And I was like, they are not a 6th ranked team, but that was the beginning of the season, so it's not here nor there.
Also, they beat Tennessee by 20 plus, and Ohio State beat Ohio State as well.
I don't think Tennessee is great, and Ohio State clearly we beat them. So
beat USC by 40.
Yeah, that was at home. I'm not surprised.
Maryland by 30.
Yeah, not surprised.
You know.
But I'm talking upper.
Yeah, they're a Final Four team, right?
They may not be. It depends on who they match up with.
Okay. Folks, UCLA defeating Iowa 88-65 on this Sunday afternoon. Big Grove's big play of the day. Chit Chat writes tap pass on a fast break to Hannah Stolke, which led to a hot potato field goal assist and field goal by Hayden. Cut the lead to 17, but it was for naught. Iowa could not sustain that fourth quarter push, and they fall by a final count of 88-65. Folks, I'll be back later today with Coach Gary Close. We'll have a fun show following a huge game for the men. Chance to make it 4 straight wins. Iowa at Oregon tonight, and that should not say Fox. It's FS1, Fox Sports 1. Let's adjust that. What's that?
Is Oregon good?
No. They're not good right now because they're down.
Okay, but it's at home.
It's in Eugene. They're not good right now because they're down 2 of their best players, including Nate Biddle, who is one of the best bigs in the country. They're beat up. They're injured. They got a great coach, right? But, yeah, like you said, on the road, out there, this is going to be a game. This is a big game for the Hawkeye men. So we'll have Coach Close on tonight following that one. And then, of course, the women are back in action on Thursday. They will play Minnesota at the National Girls and Women in Sports Celebration game. 6 p.m. Central Time, Big Ten.
Minnesota. That should be a doozy.
Yeah, we get the Kasheen Alexander matchup. Iowa, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Minnesota's decent, right?
Oh, for sure. We definitely have to be careful with them. We can't take them lightly. Which I'm sure
they are teams Iowa should beat. Minnesota and Washington.
Yes, Iowa should beat them, but that is going to be a game and could be a loss if we are not careful.
Cyhawk C Money reminding everybody, hit that thumbs up button on the way out. If you're listening on Amazon, Google, Apple, iTunes, wherever, please give us a 5-star rating as well. For Kasheen Alexander, I'm Corey Brada from the Hawkeye of the Storm. I'll talk to you here in a couple of hours. Thanks, Kasheen.